Well, greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. This is the day after Thanksgiving, and me and the dogs, I don't know if you can see them, there they are. We're out here walking off our stuffing and yams and all that stuff. I hope you guys had a great holiday. And if you didn't, there's always the rest of the year. So, today I want to talk about maybe a strategy in terms of, turning the tide on this internal breakdown of our way of life. That is, at the top of the pyramid, so to speak, you've got the leadership, not necessarily just the United States leadership, but leadership in general. Decision makers from the White House all the way down to the school systems. And those people are deliberately pushing liberal/socialist agendas. And they're doing it with, as a tactical thing. They've got a mission. And much like the Taliban, they're not pressed for time. They don't care if it takes, 10 years or 100 years. They want to convert this country into the European type of socialist societies that we've aspired to not be like. But what can we do? I mean, guys like you and I we watch videos. Some of us make videos. We talk about it at work in hushed voices because we don't want to be called racist. And, they've done very well at deploying the tactics of guilt and manipulation. And, I can't cover it all in one video. But what I'd like to do is just kind of talk about what we can do. And you got to almost pick one of the many avenues that these people take to subvert the country. Now, I mentioned the leadership. The other lower part of the pyramid, which is the wider part, are actually composed of not necessarily liberals with evil intentions that want to fuck up their country, but really with a lot of, like Rush Limbaugh calls, low information voters, people that are not self-thinkers. Like my own mom, she's a liberal, and if it comes from fucking CNN or a supporter of Obama, she thinks it's the word of God. So the majority, unfortunately, of people are not capable of thinking for themselves, and they have all kinds of excuses. They're too busy or whatever the case. And what happens is they're the most dangerous type. It's not the leadership. The Nazi leadership weren't the ones that were out there, slaughtering the Jews and fighting the Allies for the most part. I mean, obviously Rommel and some of those guys accepted, but you get the point. The point is, the most damaging part of the pyramid of tyranny comes from the people that buy into the bullshit. And one of the groups that is most affected in a very sad and pathetic way is our children, our young people in school. I saw something on the news last night that talked about, what is this system in school that they have a name for it? Core performance, I think it is. And under this core performance, or whatever the actual term is, they're doing things that are very clear to people like you and I, that are designed to whittle away at the foundation and fabric of the society that our founding fathers intended. And they do it through misinformation and omission. In the case of the news story last night, this particular school was teaching the Gettysburg Address with absolutely no mention of the Civil War. I mean, can you believe that? So they're looking at the Gettysburg Address from the standpoint of its philosophical merits, and who knows what other, shit they could use it as fucking for grammar. Who knows? Come on, guys. But that's a travesty and it's dangerous. It's just like taking a word out here, including a word there, and making every one of us responsible for slavery. Focus on what white America has done to the African American long before anybody hearing my voice was ever even conceived of. And a child can walk away feeling guilty. And once he feels guilty, he or she feels guilt for being a white person, that's the beginning of the slide into liberal control. We got to take some serious steps to educate, number one, our children. If you've got young children in the school, You have to educate them without, just tell them the truth. Sit down and have discussions once a week about what happened to the Indians, about the benefits of exploration. Now somebody's going to come back and go, oh, so it was good that we slaughtered the Indians? You really want to know the truth? If we didn't do it, we wouldn't be living in this beautiful country. And since I didn't do it, I'm reaping the benefits of the sins of people that weren't even related to me. If you want to call it that. Quite frankly, I don't think it was a sin. People explored in those days and people conquered. Other Indians did it to each other and we had the guns. So that's fucked up to be an Indian, but that's the way it goes. That sounds harsh and callous to the liberals, but I trust that you guys can figure out that I'm not an Indian hater, but I'm a realist. Just like I've said before, black people should be very thankful that there was slavery in this country, or they'd be in one of the very highly successful and comfortable countries in Africa. Well, what country is that? That's right, it doesn't exist. So thank God for slavery, or you guys wouldn't be here in a country where you could rat fuck us about something we didn't do. We being me, you, and the next guy. If we educate our children, we have family meetings once a week, and we talk about different topics, write them down ahead of time. Go over the fact that, yeah, it sucks that people got enslaved, but, oh, by the way, every civilized country on the planet has had slaves, all the way back to the Egyptians and the people, the builders of the pyramids, and in Europe, everybody had slaves. But talk about how, because of political manipulation, only America has been forced to suffer endlessly with no end in sight. Of course, endlessly means no end in sight. The whole concept of slavery. And then the next discussion, no, Charlie, Chucky, stop. The next discussion could be the difference between ultra-liberals and conservatives. And just talk about the Constitution and how, conservatives want small government and want to adhere to the desires of our founding fathers. You get the point. I don't have to walk you through it. But we need to do that. And if we got older kids, you got to take a different approach. You got to explain the motives and the reason behind some of the labels that the left puts on people like you and I. If you're pro-gun, you're a psycho and a danger to society. You need to take the bull by the horns and explain that you're protecting the Second Amendment, because if we lose one right, we lose them all. You need to go Google and bring up videos of what happened when Australia turned in their weapons. Show that to the kids, your older kids. And your liberal family members, your liberal friends. It's a little harder once they've drank the Kool-Aid, I get it. But listen, we got to do something besides just shaking our head and gnashing our teeth. And anybody else that's got any other ideas, throw them out, man. Put them out here in the comments. Let's stop complaining and start doing something. And every little step helps. And I really believe we need to capture our children's attention, because they are, believe me, they're on the radar of the enemies of this country, the internal enemies. They're the ones that are the fresh pieces of clay that can be molded into little tyrants that rage against the Constitution. And that's what's happening in school. Get involved. Find out what your teacher is teaching. Write letters. Get with other parents and demand that people teach history the proper way and in the right context, and not sway it toward this Obama bullshit. Anyways, that's it for today. LMS Tactical out. Stay alert. Stay alive.
I've been stalking you for about a mile. I wanna get busy with that vertical smile. A doop doop doo doo da ba dee doo doo doop da ba dee doo doo doo.